Hi, this is Jack Butler. Thanks for tuning in. Today's video, which is here on Highway 1, en route to Bolinas. Today's video is about happiness and how it relates to values memes or value structures. So if any of you are familiar with spiral dynamics or any other sort of theories and systems of individual and cultural development that posit that as human beings, both individuals and cultures move through developmental stages or predictable stages of development that have different structures of values that are associated with them. So my take on that is that happiness therefore looks differently depending on what your value structure is, and those people are most happy who are most fulfilling the value structure that they live in. Which might mean, for example, that someone's version of happiness involves a whole load of really hard work pursuing profit in a business they built. In your value structure, it might be that you're really fulfilled if you have deeply meaningful work that touches your soul. So in some ways, I'm offering an invitation to create a little bit more space around what our narrative or what we see the formula for happiness is, and at least to nuance that to the value structure that we live in and the value structure that other people occupy that may be different from our own. It's a bit like Maslow's hierarchy of needs in some ways. People can just be aimed at different things in the pyramid depending on what they have in their life. And sometimes I think we overgeneralize the formula that we think we have for happiness or that exists in our culture or communities as that applies to the rest of the world. That said, there probably are some mainstays of what it means to be happy across all human experience. Like, we are deeply social beings, and so the quality of our connection to other people and the quality of relationships in our life, for example, will always be important. And feeling some level of fulfillment in our work is probably always going to be important. But this is an invitation to notice what your value structure is. I will shoot some more videos in the future on spiral dynamics to go into that more seriously. But what is your value structure, and how fully are you inhabiting the most healthy expression of your value structure? And are you in an environment and a set of conditions that allow you to do that fully? You know, if you are, for example, in a highly conformist culture where most people conform to life scripts that were given to them at birth or through the social structure, and you're trying to break out of that, it might be harder for you to be happy than if you're in a community of people that are all doing that, where everyone's broken the mold and is, let's say, pursuing their dream or their freedom or their adventure or their self-expression or a self-authoring life. So I think the value of placing yourself in a set of people or a locale or a community, which might be a different part of the country, it might be a different part of your city, it might even be a different part of the world, that allows you to most fully occupy the values that you hold most near and dear, can be super important. And I'm not just talking about values like, hey, what are your corporate values? Like, we stand for authenticity and meaning and community and people. I'm talking about the fact that we all live in a value structure, like a deep value structure of what we pay attention to. Just like in your type, as a human type, say like in the Enneagram, it will start to help you see what things you do and don't pay attention to are habitual in your world. We all seem to live in similar kind of value structures where there are just things that we value, which might be like, you know, career, or it might be that we value like really high quality time with ourselves, you know, but sometimes in some stages of life you don't really value that. You know, it might be nice, it might be like great when you spend a Sunday like that, but it's not really a sort of driving aspect of your human experience. So can you be more explicit with what you value? Are there ways that you can experience those values more because of decisions that you make in your life, or being in enough of a community of people, whether that's physical or virtual, who can really support you in most fully living your values? Because I just think it's such an important part of happiness. So here's to a more nuanced version of happiness that allows more people more experiences of their happiness based on their own value structure. I hope that makes sense. I'll be with you soon.